Today is April 22nd, 2026. Of course, today. Of course. You know, these fucked up bastards. And they are fucked up. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, the extremes and the people running this is ISIS. It's the group from Texas, the Muslims. For what Muslim group refers to themselves, it's the we. Or we have to, we got to. It's ISIS. The Muslims in the complete hijabs, long black gowns, terrorists against the United States. Iraqi men telling you that they work all for the king from Texas. They are his men. He's a drug lord. They're pimps. They told you they were human traffickers. They were selling U.S. citizens. People are disappearing. They said it was that. If you look up the king from Texas, he was a U.S. military Iraqi translator, went into the dark web malware, Fennel King. He's from Iraq. That's where all the Texas plates. They were in it with Judge Peters' group from Florida. If you look up Judge Peters' arrest from Florida, there was a pipeline. They were selling people between Florida and Texas. That's why they were up here years ago scouring. You know, these people, they're so evil, it's stupid. And then there's morons, retards, going along with it. Retards. Today in Walmart 62, I go to walk in. Some bitch. Now, I had a regular blue shirt on. I have a white tank top underneath it. And what is that hanging out of the back of her shirt? It's just some tank top she's got. Well, she better keep covered up. That religious group wants her covered up when she's out. Fuck you. You want me to go get a pair of short shorts and a tank top? Or better yet, a halter top. You want to see all my fat? You do realize we live in the United States of America. That's why on beaches, what do you have to have covered up on beaches? Let's see. If you're a girl, there's the nipple part of your breast in the front genital area. That's how you wear the thong bathing suits. They can see your butt cheeks. How about men? Some of them wear Speedos. That's an oh my God. But they can do it, and it looks like, what, the bottom part of a woman's bathing suit? I don't have anything else on. Beaches, swimming pools. Why? Because the private area is covered, and that's all that's required. We live in the United States of America. Go down to Florida, go to California, get some new beaches. It'll be marked at least. See, that's where Dave's old church, that minister Strange, was a tyrant. Once you were married, or you were 15 or 16 years old, he wanted your hair up in a bun. The little girl age, over. You're to look like a young woman. Your dresses were not to be above your knee, not mid-knee. Where were they supposed to be? Below your knee. Do you know he called people a whore for having their skirt length mid-knee or above their knee? A whore. Do you know he also called people a whore for going outside without hose on? With their skirts? Showing their bare legs? How dare they? You are to wear hose with your skirt. You were never allowed to wear shorts, pants. Never allowed to wear a bathing suit in public. You were never allowed to swim in public pools, regardless how you were dressed. Get the idea? An occult, a controlling one. You know, Dave always made sure that I dressed a certain way because of that minister, even when we didn't go to that church. Still over picky. My skirts to be like mid-knee. Always had flats on or anklets in my tennis shoes if we went out fishing. But otherwise, we went out somewhere nice, I had flats on. With my skirt, wore nice tank tops with cardigan sweater to go over it. Because it's forbidden to show your underarm. It's forbidden not to have at least 2 inches below your shoulder. 2 to 3 inches. You weren't to go below, like right here either, of your, right here, your collarbone, right below. You couldn't show anything. You were to be covered. Or they called you a whore. These are the people that are prostituting out their women to married men, believe it or not. Extreme occults. Now, they're in it with ISIS. My God. The Texas group. See, that's where, who the fuck do these people think they are? You know, if I want to wear a pair of shorty shorts, I want to wear a halter top and let all my fat hang out. Long as my breasts are covered and my personal area is covered, it's nobody's damn business. You want to see my back fat? You want to see my stomach fat? Don't push me, people. A few months ago, I was up in Fairlawn. Had a pair of jeans on. Sweater. You know, you stand up, you pull up your jeans after you've been sitting down for a while. And then you adjust your shirt back over the edge. Some guy said some attorney was complaining that she showed her back to people. No attorney would do that. And I didn't even think they could only see like an inch of her back fat. And they're complaining over that. That's saying nothing. Duh. So those stupid people working for ISIS saying that that extremist religious group said that she better stay covered up when she's out. Do you want me to go out in a pair of shorts and a halter top? Don't push me. See, that's where I was apostolic for, 30 years? I was married to Dave for 33, so even longer. Even when I didn't go to church until my divorce, I didn't wear jeans. I want you to think about that. I went some as a teenager, and then I went out with this one guy. I wore jeans a couple times because he liked me, and we'd sneak and I'd wear jeans. I was like 50. Royal Rebel wore a pair of jeans. Yeah. See, that's where this whole thing is fucking shit. And, you know, that's where, because Dave expected me to be in a nice skirt, a nice either shirt down to almost my elbow. And if you wore, a lot of times you wore tank tops underneath your shirt so they couldn't see anything. You know, not like anybody was looking anyways, but they were so afraid they had to keep the women covered up. Or you wore your tank tops with your cardigan over it so nobody could see your underarm. My God. And you get used to dressing that way. You get comfortable. Because that's what is expected of you. Just like doing your hair before you leave. You didn't do your hair. He would have screamed at you over the pulpit. He'd seen you out. So, when I first left Dave, these people were already bullying me. How dare you leave that house without hose on? Okay? How dare you? Who are you to tell me what I dare and not? And they would scream at me in front of people. I started wearing jeans. And they show up, you think you can dress like a boy? And their girlfriends are standing there in jeans. They're paid off by ISIS and that occult to show up and yell at me. Saying, you better have a belt with those jeans. You learn to dress right. You make sure you wear a hose with your thing, just like Strange. Okay? Yelling at me. So you get used to it. When I first left, I worked at loan companies and banks. A little bit I worked at one factory, but then I went back to loans and banks. And you have to dress up anyways. But then I got used to, and then, okay, when I was 17, I had John, my oldest. I got some varicose veins behind my knee. It was a thing of embarrassment because they're right behind my knee. Okay? Having varicose veins. So hose sort of camouflaged it. So wearing hose, a lot of times, it was more like a cover up of, hopefully people won't notice my varicose veins. Because I was embarrassed of them. And then, with Strange's crazy rules and everything else. But these people acted like that religious call like Strange. Bullying me in public. I didn't go to his church. I hadn't been a member for 15 years. It's none of their damn business what I dress. This is the United States of America. I can wear my hair anyway. I could do whatever. And, and these people, when I would dress halfway decent, because I was used to dressing that way. Jean skirt, nice shirt, little cardigan. Go out with my flats on or a pair of sandals. And you know what? They'd show up. She's out trying to pick up men. Did I go out and flirt with any of them? No. Did I give them the time of day? No. Wasn't looking for a man. Just felt really good about myself and dressed nice. You can do that. You can actually buy an outfit because you like it. You can dress nice and go out to eat and take yourself to a nice restaurant and then enjoy a meal without a man sitting across the table. Yes, it's nice to have a man in your life, but are you out trolling for a man? No. You're just out enjoying dinner or out for a walk or out shopping. If you want to just feel good about yourself, you have the right to. See, that's where even in 19, this guy showed up, had a bunch of guys with him at Giant Eagle. And I thought, oh my God, I am not dealing with these idiots insulting me again. And the guy said, what are you talking about? She's not throwing herself at any of these men. I thought I wouldn't even give them the time of fucking day. I don't deal with assholes. You wouldn't even got a pity date, not one damn one of you. Not even an ounce of a pity date. Do you understand me? I find these people repulsive. And they wouldn't have even got a pity date. I wasn't out trolling for men. I dressed the way I did because I was used to it. And I had dressed like that for 30 fucking years. You wear something for a style for 30 years because you're made to. It's a little odd and uncomfortable giving it up. Because that's what you're accustomed to. And that's where even wearing jeans when I first started to, it was embarrassing. It was hard. Finding me in the middle of all the chaos. Digging down and finding my own voice and my own reality of what I wanted to be. One of the investigators said, it's her life and no one will ever interfere in it again. She will live it as she chooses. And nobody will say a word to her. I gained a little weight over the winter. Today I went out and Carl and I probably walked 1.5 miles. And starting to feel good. See, that's where it won't take me long to lose it. But these people are so controlling. And then when that's where another lady said, we heard they have people watching her. That religious group. I know they do. They have caught them having people watch me in stores and stalk me. It's not funny. See, and then other people were talking in Walmart too. We heard that that religion showed up and made fun of Agent John in here. Oh, yeah, June 7th, 23. FBI Agent John fell for the stunt at Taste 4. Oh, come on now. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. FBI Agent John fell for the stunt at Taste 4 that were only a stunt? Oh, come on. You mean that agent fell for that? John actually fell for it. You mean that FBI agent John actually fell for a stunt at Tapes before that were only a stunt? Is that what's going on? Name and title and cackle. And cackle. And cackle. They sold videos of it. My God, June 7th, 23, 10:11 in the morning. Walmart 62. Where those ladies said, I heard that religious group was in here making fun of FBI agent John. I know. I know. I know. Oh, and then they're saying some attorney found out. Now there's no attorney. Don't even be giving me this one. And see, this is where it's a scam. There's no attorney. Doing this. I want you to think about it. They're just lying their fucking asses off. See, that's where found out it was more than that Michelle telling on them that they photoshopped that tape of Weird With Yourself and drugged her and told her to say it before. There was more than just her. Dumbasses. Let's see. How many times do I go over this, you retards? You fucking moron retards. How many times do I go over this? Again and again and again. And anybody nice listening to me, I apologize. But for the people that are stupid and ignorant and retards that are purposely being retarded. How many times? From the first month of a case, a little white man came up to me. Woke up with another bruise on my leg. For every idle word you telling us, I'll turn on you. You try to leave Dave, I'll list your child molester. I'm like, who are you? He said, you know that bruise on your leg? It was the size of a lemon. He said, I used sodium pentothal on you. You know what you said to me? Something about wearing some nightgown, bending over, and probably accidentally seeing your butt in a life of pain. Trying to call me a child molester for that. And he admitted he worked for Dave. He stabbed me in my sleep and told me to say that stupid lie. I got away from that freak. I went home to a legally bugged house. And they verified I didn't own that nightgown years before. They only seen the back of my knees, and I was dressed modestly. The guy made the whole thing up, but he admitted he worked for Dave, drugged me up and told me to say lies. Then other people showed up where you had bruises before, throwing up and infected. It wasn't the well water, it was us. We were drug beaten, raping you, and that's what was causing it. We had drugged you and told you to say this. We had drugged you and told you to say that. And I would run to the bathroom and throw up. Never seen, never talked to anybody. Never even had my neighbors in my home. Rapist playing with me. Rapist. We photoshopped all our lies. We erased some guy named Chris out of the room. By January 19, it was a feminine wipey above the toilet to make you look weird. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. March 13th, 21, they told the nurse at Mercy Medical that the only thing they had on me was adjusting myself. The guy said at 6, said, no, it's funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said at 6, said, no, it's actually funny. They didn't have anything else. She just simply brushed it off. A simple action of just wiping something off. You can touch any part of your body with clothes on. That's not wrong. They didn't have anything else. Where they said they photoshopped everything in and out. Okay? Then they started saying after that things never happened. It made my stomach bleed. The stress. And then I thought, they're playing me. What would you be doing? And I thought, it sounds like you got undressed and you're taking a shower. Washing yourself. Went outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them admitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. July 24th, 25, an investigator did a body ratio. It wasn't even me. They put it as some lady washing herself. But it's not even me. And they put my head on somebody else's body. November 18th, 22, some guy named Eric was one of the main drug dealers they talked about that was doing this. He was in Walmart 62. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it. My idea to do it. My idea to say it. For all these people turn on her and they fell for it. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad and they still fell for it. November, Thanksgiving of 22. They were talking about it was that guy Eric they're looking for, making fun of everyone. September of 23, I'm up on Forest Grove Drive. The cartel's out there, and they were yelling stuff off in the distance. And this lady and guy walks by and said some of the drug dealers they hired to watch her, they don't even find this funny anymore. Said, did she do anything wrong? Said, no. The drug dealers already confessed. They photoshopped everything on her. Made everything up on her. They made fun of the FBI for falling for it. Are they going to do anything about it? We don't know, but none of this is funny. They even went to her ex-husband. Asked him if he knew it was fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors that made her sick before. He said yes. And they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years. And he didn't say a word and let all those people hurt her. Now, who hurt somebody because somebody calls somebody a faker? It's a baby word. Mm-hmm. Who hurt somebody for that? It's a baby word. What kind of fucking retard would hurt somebody because somebody called somebody a baby word? And it was a lie. Think about that. Okay. May 25th, 21, 6 p.m. Wendy's in Louisville. Other church people breaking in before drugging her, telling her they wear to molest her stuff. Memorial Day weekend of 21, the heavyset Lauren and Michelle, big fat girls. One where that Will guy has to pay the heavyset prostitutes to date him, and they bragged he had to pay them to date him. Helped that one lose a lot of weight. She's yelling at the goons from Ravenna, are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession? Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. I thought, bullshit. Bullshit. You were confessing in 18. Bullshit. Bullshitty. 8/9/21, the apartment building 42nd close to the fence. A lady and little girls live there on North Chapel, an apartment where I used to live. They were talking about me being drugged and told to say it before. 4 or 5 neighbors did a police report. Those same little girls by school starting at 21, Melissa and her kids had told them that they made everything up, and they were announcing it. December 9th, 21, Edith Oakland apartment maintenance man on Cleveland Avenue. They told him at 4 o'clock that all the tapes before were them and not me, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. See if someone will actually stop him. Same day, December 9th, 21, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street in Canton. He was one of my guards. Came out and said, we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. Okay? January 19th, 22, Department of Disability, 11 o'clock in the morning. They told them I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory, a Latino man admitted he was the first one that drugged me and told me to say it before. People were screaming in Canton and clear down on 6th Street in Canton. And an investigator from Ravenna followed me down there and said he would see me out today. Found out that bastard really did drug me and tell me to say it before. March 24th, 22, 1:30, they admitted to framing me. August 4th, 25, they admitted to using hypnotic drugs on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before, and that's what caused the metal taste in my mouth and no memory. It causes sleepwalking. August 5th, 25, as if Agent John did not know that they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. He was telling everyone he knew she was being drugged, being raped before the case started, and didn't care. He even let him torture her. Is he some kind of coward? August 7th, 25, investigators show up at Walmart 62. They got them taped again, admitting to drugging me and telling me to say it before, and now admitting to using hypnotic drugs. And calling Agent John a coward. August 31st, 25, Summit Mall. They're up there. It is documented and verified they used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. She has no memory of those people or anything that they did before. And no one's allowed to say a word. March 27th, 25. There's another girl named Michelle that's beautiful, long blonde hair. Was dating an agent on a Rouge. Told him that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of my doctors. She actually don't know who he is. Well, that's a HIPAA violation. Of course, it wasn't one of mine. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. And soon as she told him, he hung up with her. And he got my ex-husband that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me to get a job at my dad's factory so she'd have free insurance. The other woman using my insurance for 15 years and running up medical bills in my name and leaving me with the copays was another girlfriend of Dave's. Wasn't random. Identity theft. It was premeditated, him and one of his girlfriends. All right, so, and he got it out of that family that was saying that it offended him, that Strange called her a faker. And it asked him why on earth would they even say it. It was 6 months after an accident she had nothing to do with. Said that they lied about everything. Everybody was. So they'd help get away with this. She wasn't even there. Lisa's father killed her kid. Didn't even concern him. See, when you realize where they stopped thinking it was funny anymore, they were all just trying to scam money out of the FBI. And that was the whole reason they were there. Was to scam money out of the FBI. Or to scam on me. To scam money out of the FBI. They didn't get it then. They didn't find it funny harming me anymore. It takes a special kind of evil to find amusement out of hurting people. Special kind of evil. Okay. Let's see. What else? November 23rd, 25. Summit Mall. There's people up there. Said that they wanted to run a scam on the government to extort money from them. Her ex-husband was already connected to him, so they went to him. And he said they could run a scam on her if they made sure that he got everything during the divorce. December 1st, 25, that pretty Michelle that told that agent that. Carl even heard her April 17th, 25, and she's having a meltdown over that guy breaking up with her afterwards. Well, they, on April 24th, 25, in Summit Mall, all the Muslims were all over Summit Mall. Texas group. Told you they're in Maryland, Medina area. Full hijabs. Full long gowns. ICE could have a field day up there. Okay? So, they are up there and they're saying, you tell that guy Will that was trying to scam here to join us. It's all ruined. Because that Michelle told on him that that doctor from before wasn't one of hers. He works for them and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. You tell him we said to take care of her. Then they started threatening to kill her. And all kinds of other threats if they find her. So I did a video. It's like, honey, get to the FBI, get to the police. Tell on these people. You got information. It's gold to them. 95% of the people in the witness protection program are criminals. Only 5% are victims. They'll give you money every month. They'll protect you. And they'll get you out of here. Just don't sit there. They'll kill you. They find you. She's just a little girl. She's just a little girl. Well, she went badass. Her and her friends. Everything that they did. They started telling investigators on them. That's how you stop criminals. You tell on them. You have to have enough courage to tell on them. Enough courage to tell on them. And I'm proud of her. I've never met her. I've only seen her. Carl's seen her. But I've never met her, and I'm proud of her standing up to these monsters from hell. Okay? December 1st, 25. An investigator comes in Walmart 62. Said, Michelle showed up at my office. Said that these people confessed this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. They all were. And that the doctor from before was not one of hers. He works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And that guy Pete that was running his mouth about her, she doesn't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. Dave hired all these people on his own. Get the idea. He worked for my ex-husband in that cult. And that Texas group is ISIS. It's an ISIS cell here in the U.S. trying to extort money from the FBI and pull a fast one. Get the idea. And they're getting away with killing U.S. citizens because people are ignorant around here. Okay. So, said that these people admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. She has no memory of these people. And they admitted to Photoshop washing in the shower in the other room and to make her look weird with herself. And the whole thing was nothing but a scam to extort money from the government. Okay. September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning. My car is parked by the police and the FBI for the FBI case. 1 o'clock in the morning, there's a biker yelling at that Mary's niece, Michelle, okay? Because you break it down where Anita and Pam were talking. Mary's niece, Michelle, was so excited to date someone like Dave. And just the opportunity, she was willing to kill someone. Okay? Dave was excited, never had anybody willing to kill someone just to date him. That poor family that's in debt needs his help. Then you get to thinking about when I called the FBI and Agent John showed up, this blonde girl walked by. When I was sitting down and those other women were talking about how that agent was telling people that he knew I was being drugged, being raped, didn't care because a stranger's 15-year-old baby lie called me a faker and it was a medication error. Well, there was a girl with blonde hair about up to here, was wavy, walked by, said, I told you I got somebody that we knew that'll handle this and let us get away with it. And I thought, who are you? Then got to thinking about the girl that I seen off in the distance at the family church with the short blonde hair with Judge Peter's group. They called Michelle, that was her one. Pretty sure that was her. Okay. But it is Mary's niece. That's where Katie always said everybody was stealing for her. It's her and her family. That's where June 7th, 23, the ones making fun of FBI agent John Jody was there. Investigators called her out. Jody paid for the harassment today. It's Katie's sister. Good idea. Michelle's her mom's niece. It's her family's drug debt. Okay. September 30th, 25. 1 o'clock in the morning, biker rubbing the engine. Said the guys running it said no one's to say a word to her again in her life. That this whole thing, they found out this whole thing is your family's debt to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. She doesn't even know you, and you had her skull bashed in, her raped and tortured because your family was in debt to drug dealers? Yes. I'm sorry. Listen to her and her friend Matt talk January 13th, 23. That the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life because they thought he let all those people be human trafficked. It was your family letting them be human trafficked, and your family human trafficked people because you were in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. She sold little children for sex slaves and to be murdered, stolen from their parents, and she's sorry. This is why God made hell. This is why God made hell, and why we have jails, and we have a legal system that handles people like her. Then he said, I found out it was your family, telling her new husband's family that to threaten him and do all those things to him and terrorize him to steal his land. Well, I really wanted that farm. I liked it. Listen to September 23. The original cartel already confessed they photoshopped everything on her. Did you know that? Yes. Did you know the original cartel already confronted her ex-husband? That if he knew everything was medication error, medical malpractice, and fraud, and he said yes. Did you know that? Yes, I knew that. Okay, January 19th. 26, Henry Maffey shows up. Beginning of the case, somebody texts me through Instagram, I think you're beautiful. It's like, thanks. Something about love on the beach, I don't know. Go out to stores, people talk about them. And then people that say they're drug dealers from Florida and they work for Judge Peters, he's running around with them. I don't know him from Adam, but he's part of this. Okay? Now Carl and I are joking around the car to MC Hammer, you can't touch this. Joking around the car. He comes in and Carl had to go to the bathroom. He was in there a little while. He's at watching her and her husband dance around in the car like that, like a bunch of little kids. The officers that watch her for the case only watch her because they feel sorry for her. They like me and there's a court order. He said, I'm the one that got a hold of her line. I thought you looked like that picture. I don't know you. He said, I told all men she's not good enough for another man. I thought, fuck you, when I got a pity date. He said, I'm glad I never met her in person. He wouldn't even got a pity date. He's ugly as a horse's ass. He said, I'm the one that told her new husband's family I'd steal everything for them. I found out her new husband's son was down there vandalizing stuff on that property. Oh, stay out of it. I'll steal everything for them. So what'd that girl say? It was her family. So that's that Michelle, and that's her dad then. So that's that Will or Pete guy, right? Then he said that had a judge, his friend was going to enter all his tapes in court including the tape of Weird with Yourself, the shower scene in the other room. And, well, the FBI is busy with Minnesota, and they'll have everything turned over to me, and I'll steal all the case's money, and I'll be long gone. And I'll pull a fast one on the FBI and steal everything from them, and they won't even know what happened until it's too late. I wrote the president. I wrote FBI Internal Affairs. Over my fucking dead body, you won't get a dime. I feel like I'm talking to Dave, where Dave's like, Karen, realize I'll kill everything you loved in life. Realize I'll kill it. And I thought, over my dead body, you'll get caught going after me. And I started taping my own witnesses to get extra proof. And I thought, if the only thing they got left is the proof I got, I don't care if it adds to it, helps to it, and I end up dead and he gets stopped and they save my kids. I went around taping my own witnesses. Some of the investigators are laughing. She's actually funny. She's really funny. She's all around, going around taping her own witnesses, and we're still here. She's funny. Don't threaten my babies. Then that bastard saying he's going to steal all the money that I'm to earn for helping the FBI with a case. It's like yelling at Dave, over my dead body, you'll get a dime of it. I earned that money. That money is meant for me and for me to help my children that I almost died for. Over my dead body, you will get a dime. Over my dead body. Okay? See, then you go back to Thanksgiving of 18. We're in the basement where the kids are playing boo and scaring everybody. You go down, you step off the steps, and it's like, boo! And you go, oh, because they're little, just to make them happy. On the third step up, the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Grandma needs to get out. Down there in a huddle saying crazy crap. I go up and I sit down. Flora comes running up. They're saying mean things in the basement. I go up to John. What's going on? I don't know. He said, I told Melissa, his ex-wife, that you're going through a divorce. You'll have the kids make up something because of the divorce. But don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it. Nobody could ever say anything bad about your mom. Okay? Defends me totally. Okay. After that, the investigators were in Walmart 62. Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Why are why are they having those kids make that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her into giving up the house. That's it. Her whole family's speaking highly of her. Okay. January 12th, 22, Officer John stopped men at the door of Walgreens North Main at 4:55 p.m. What did those kids get tape stating? They made everything up. They made everything up. October 23rd, 2019, my granddaughter Flora told on. See, the whole thing of it is I walked upstairs. I didn't hear what the mean jokes were. See, the police and the FBI knew. And they made it up when I was out with Dave. Okay. See, that's another thing people were talking about in Walmart today. They said the police and the FBI already taped Melissa and her kids saying they were lying. Oh, I know. They've announced it in Walmarts all over the place. From Alliance to North Canton, Walmart 62. Investigators were talking about it in different states I went into. They're documenting me jokes. See, that's where after Thanksgiving of 18, Officer Mark said, Melissa could go to jail for involving herself in this. I'd hate to arrest her. Kids are little. Why don't we just write it up there showing off for Dave and his girlfriend? They're documenting me jokes. May 23rd to July 4th of 21, Mount Carmel, Illinois, somebody from there called up to Massillon Police. They told them they're documenting me jokes. She never hurt anyone. Starr County Sheriff's May of 21, that if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he's slow. October 5th, 21, Huntington Bank in front of a client. They were talking about Melissa and her kids lying. And we went to leave. He said, who's that crazy Melissa? They all talk about lying everywhere we go. The ex-daughter-in-law friends with ex's girlfriend had the kids make up some mean games of pretend on Thanksgiving 18. He's like, it's been years and they're still talking about that girl lying and her and her kids. Okay. October 23rd, 2019. Flora ratted him out. I said, do you know how mad I was when they said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa? She's like, that's not what they said. They said this. It's filthy. Absolute filthy. And Josh is like, don't say that again. It's not true. Well, of course it's not true. Well, of course it never happened. We made it up. They were games of pretend. Laughing. Wouldn't quit chuckling. I would have spanked them all. See, I was a kind of crazy mother. I would have spanked you. And then I would have marched you in front of the person you lied on and made you apologize. And then you would have went around to everyone you lied to and told them you lied and you would never lie again. You understand? You'd be lucky if you weren't writing it a couple 100 times. I will never lie again. I wouldn't make it an example that it never happened again. See, there's a difference. That's where my dad always said, you put the fear of God with the fear of you in them. They can be good people. After they're 18, they don't want to listen, they can get out. But you make them be good while they live under your roof. Children don't know right from wrong. They don't come with sympathy and empathy. You have to teach it to them. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Lord. Where else? July 26, 25, they're calling for Melissa's arrest in Magnolia for exploiting her children, trying to make a profit. They were talking about it out in Alliance. They were talking about it, everywhere. Even in Pennsylvania. Kentucky, Illinois in 21. They sold the login. Even January 1926 in Fairlawn. People were walking in, they released Thanksgiving 18. Those kids did say they made everything up. Nobody went to the hospital. There's no police reports. There's no pictures of injuries. There's no treatment for injuries. They're mean jokes. That's all they are. Like they said, Karen, you know what they told people? Karen's so stupid. She'll fall for anything. I'm not that stupid. We can pull anything on her and get away with it. I'm not that stupid. Then, where they thought they could just pull a fast one, have somebody stab me with a hypnotic drug, and they even admitted in September 25 in Walmart 62 that when I walked by rooms, they were hiding and would reach out and inject me. Stuff works in like 45 seconds. Drug me up, tell me to say stop, beat, rape me, and I didn't even see who did it. No memory of the attack, no nothing. How would you like that to happen to you in your own safety of your home? Never have anybody in your home. I thought I was dying of cancer. I thought the well water was giving me cancer, trying to make sense of it. Just showering in it. Never seen or talked to anybody. Rapist, preying on somebody. Rapist, breaking in people's homes, stabbing them with those drugs, telling them to say something horrible, have them beat and raped, and don't even know who did it or never met them. What are you to think about that? Found out they've been stalking me with hunting cameras. Some guy named Will and some guy named Pate. Dave hired on his own to run a drug scam. On me. A drug scam. Just by some guy named Pete and some guy named Will Dave hired on his own. Some rapist. Some guy named Will and some guy named Pete can't just go around breaking in private homes, having their men hide behind doors, reach out and stab somebody with drugs, tell them to say something horrible, and it works in 45 seconds. You're sleepwalking, and when it wears off, you got a metal taste in your mouth and you're vomiting. And have that poor victim beat and raped in their own home and don't even know who harmed them. And the rapist wants money? Hell hasn't froze over. and found out the rapist that had been stalking me, illegally marrying, nor did you get special permission from the police. Dave hired him on his own. Photoshop washing in the rapist tape. April 16th, 23. I heard Danny across the parking lot. I finally went to Dad, asked him what on earth is going on. He said he finally went to Dad, asked him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. Was Pete and his men in her home before? Pete has her frame. Pete has her tape, the filthy, dirty statement. Just some guy I've never met. Just like that old ass that admitted he stabbed me with a date rape drug. And it came out that it was a hypnotic drug. It caused sleepwalking, works almost immediately. It's a perfect date rape drug. You can eat, you can cook, you can drink, you can drive a car, you can have sex. You have no memory and you're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. They used it on a U.S. Marshals kid twice. She moved out of the area for safety. My coworker Dar and my neighbor Mike. Hard telling who else. My stepdaughter Audrey, Carl's daughter, her and her husband Gary said they had it on this news thing of hypnotic drugs and cartels using them on victims. They go to raves, big parties. They'll walk around with those syringes already loaded. They'll walk up and stab people. They work almost instantly, and that way the kids don't fight them and they grab them. And they leave with them willingly. They even did a demonstration. They drugged some guy up and that was willing to let them do it. And then after, less than a minute, looked at him and told him to go empty his checking account. He went over to the bank, emptied out his whole checking account, came back, handed it to him. Said they watched him, his eyes and stuff, because you knew he was drugged. He was a hair off, just a hair, on those drugs. They said it was so scary because we knew he was drugged by watching what they did to him. He was a hair off. You couldn't tell. And I said, well, they've had those kind of drugs for years. You got to think even back in the 1960s, they had hallucinating drugs of like LSD and everything else while you're awake. Now they got hypnotic drugs. They got the dangers of using them. She said they had it on a news thing, how cartels load up syringes of that and walk around stabbing what kids they want, so they go with them willingly. They won't fight them. All right. Now that this is just Henry Moffey, I'll tell him he's probably the Will or the Pete. His daughter Michelle, which is Katie's mom's niece, and they're just trying to extort money from the government. See, that's where other people had already said they were just trying to steal money from the government. It got to the point it wasn't funny just hurting me for it. Where did you find it funny hurting me? I'm a human being. See, it takes a special kind of evil to find enjoyment in hurting a human being. See, that's where they run around. Oh, there's an attorney for children. No child got hurt. See, that's where, even where they thought it was a smart ass thing of drugging me up and telling me to say horrible stuff. And, we'll have someone verify it. You have to have proof the crime actually was committed, and there was none. See, that's where my son John asked me when Melissa pulled a mean stunt with him of sneaking in his house, hiding, and waiting for him to come out of the bathroom. Lunged at him screaming, and he shoved her out of being startled. Now I got you. Had him arrested domestic violence. That's not domestic violence. That's breaking and entering. Ohio is a stand your ground law. You'd have done a lot more. She's the one that should have got arrested. He lost his kids. A year later, asked me to be a reliable name on a court record. I was working 2 jobs. Didn't get off the first one, let alone the second one, barely making it. And I had to tell him I couldn't help him. He's pleading, but Mom, these are my children. I said, John, I won't film my apartment. I am so sorry. I can't help you. And he's like, but Mom, these are my kids. I said, John, I barely make it now. I barely make it. One of my jobs only made $10 an hour. I barely make it now. I'm sorry, I won't be able to keep my apartment. He lost his kids. He moved to Florida. He's remarried. He looks very happy. Him and his wife started a church. He's lived in Florida for years, where they all ran around. Oh, John verified it for Will. He was in it with them. No, he wasn't. He's been in Florida. June 13th, 14th, or 25th, I found out they had somebody impersonate him. Said if John's been in Florida with years, who's that riding around with them? Asking their John, ask him to hurt him. My son John would never ask anybody to hurt his mother. My son would not be part of having his mother drugged, beaten, raped for Dave's crack-headed girlfriend to steal from the government. He wouldn't be part of this. You get the idea? See, just like June 7th, 25, Dr. Greg Haben on Frank Road is still open. Kids' pediatrician from 1984 to 2002. They seen them every year, 3 or 4 times a year. Yearly checkup, then colds, flu, sinuses, whatever it is. Each one of them. He was the kids' pediatrician. Actually seen him, MD doctor. He verified for them that there was no sign of no neglect, no abuse, and they were well taken care of, or he would have reported it. So for their real MD doctor, already reported that there was no abuse. That's medical proof. He's seen them several times a year for 18 years. So they thought, well, we just roofie somebody and say that somebody verified it and it'd be okay. No, you can't just roofie someone. You have to have somebody. See, that's where I had a dog bite. A personal injury attorney even told me you have to have so much to even open a case. You have to prove you were injured. You have to go to the hospital. They have to be seen for injuries. You have to have pictures of those injuries that match up the hospital report. You have to have treatment for those injuries. Medical proof that you're being treated for those injuries. You have to notify the police. The police have to do an investigation. Where I had a dog bite, I had to have a dog warden's report too. I also, where they said, you also have to have evidence the person or the animal did it. I said, well, I got a witness. You can't have a witness. You can pay witnesses off. She's the dog bite attorney, the personal injury attorney. You have to have physical evidence they did it. Or the dog did it. And it's that individual dog. I said, well, if you want that much proof, I have its DNA. She's like, what? I said, it bit through my coat and latched on my arm and won't let go, and where the perfect imprint of its teeth are embedded in my arm, you got a picture of? I have its slobber on the outside of my coat. I never washed my coat. I have the DNA. She went, now we have a case. You have to have physical evidence to prove an animal or that person or whatever caused that injury. You can't just have a witness. You have to have physical evidence. You have to have a police report. You have to be seen by a hospital. You have to have treatment for injuries. Or you don't even have a case. So, like the investigator said, these church people need to realize how dumb they are. And actually how dumb they look. Saying, oh, we had somebody drug her and tell her to say it before. Oh, well, we have them verify it. Verify what? That you were part of having somebody drugged? And then there's no crime committed. Just like they tried to say Danny and Jen reported the tape of Weird With Yourself. They didn't know anything about it. I went out to them Christmas Eve of 22. They knew nothing. Neither did the kids. It's like, did you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day while I was out to the storage unit? Yeah, I remember that. Did you know they set up body cameras? No. Do you remember the orange, lemon, and grapefruit sized bruises all over me and me throwing up and almost passing out even outside in front of the neighbor by the second week? Yeah. Do you remember it kept happening? Yeah. Did you know they were drugging me and telling me to say weirdo molester stuff? They're laughing at me in front of people in stores? No. And they were beating on me and that's what was causing the bruises? No. Did you know about button cameras? No. Did you know they were taping in the bathroom? No. Did you know about a shower scene in the other room? No. Kids came out and hugged me. Grandma, is that what's going on? They didn't know. That's where April 16th, 23, Danny finally went to Dad. Asked him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. Was Pete and his men in her home before. Pete has her framed. Pete has her taped, the filthy, dirty statement. I've never met him, never talked to him. He has to be a black and blue mark. Do you know, even when I went to Dave, and I said, Dave, I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. And I taped him. Talked about Melissa going to lie that, and he's saying she needed to stay out of this. My God, he was threatening to kill everybody. She really needed to stay out of it. And he said her and her friends and everybody needs to stay out of this. I said, if we go through a divorce, it's just between me and you. You don't involve children. He's like, no, you don't. He said, and Melissa needs to stay out of this. She needs to be where Officer Mark said, I'd hate to arrest her. Kids are little. You know, it's one thing being a bitch, Officer Mark. Being a show-off for Dave and his girlfriend and you letting her slide. If she actually is involved at this point, and it's been 7 years, you need to arrest her. Where they said down in Magnolia on July 26, 25, Melissa needs to be arrested for exploiting her children for profit. See, she doesn't have an attorney. I think this whole thing where they lied on Danny and Jen for having one, they didn't have one. Like they were lying on John trying to pull their scam, and he's in Florida. He wasn't part of it. Danny and Jen weren't part of it either. See, there's a point in time. This is just that cartel and a cult trying to pull a fast one on the FBI. This whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. ISIS wants to prove the FBI is dumb. And its people, the U.S. government and its people are so dumb they'll fall for anything. See, that's where nobody has an attorney because nobody got hurt but me. Besides all the people that got human trafficked because people are dumb and fucking stupid in this area. And weren't smart enough to turn a bunch of terrorists in. I'm going to upload this.